Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back again today at uh, a more normal time with you all. I feel like the last couple of days we've been one of them was on like 8 o'clock at night. Yesterday we were really late on at like 3:30 or something like that. I am sorry it has been like that. Yesterday was probably one of the busiest days I've had in months. We had three separate cases in the court. One was an appeal, one was a verdict, and one was a case update. And I had to go to all three different hearings in one day. So it was a very busy day yesterday. We had just so many things going on. But today is a bit more relaxed. Today is not like that, thank God. We're having a bit of a quiet Friday for me. Friday for me, Thursday night for you. Some of you might be watching the preseason game with the 49ers. 49ers are just smoking them right now. Even in a preseason game, they are doing very well. I think they just scored like another touchdown before. So Niners looking pretty good against the Chargers tonight. Here, let me check. 49ers. Let me check. Yeah, 34 to 9 right now with the 49ers preseason game. Good to see you all. Good to be back. You may be wondering, why am I showing you this photo? Well, I will tell you in 1 second. Hold on. All right. So you may remember this young girl, right? Her name is Layla Jeffries, and she went missing a little while ago, and we were just involved in sort of telling some of the information during the sort of search for her. Then we found out that she had been killed, and after that, we found out it was actually a 16-year-old boy who had killed this young girl, 13 years old, very young teenage girl, and the teenage boy has been in court, so I just wanted to give you a quick update for it. And they are trying to get a DNA sample from the 16-year-old boy. They want it for their investigative work. And obviously, because the charges are so serious, they may need some DNA work regarding the death of Layla. Now, if you don't remember, Layla was from Donald. It's in northern Victoria, and this all happened back in July. So it's been a couple of months now, or about a month, and we're starting to finally see that court process um, go through. So we're starting to see there's a photo of her. We're starting to see that the courts work on this one. It is going to take a while. It is not going to happen anytime soon, and eventually the 16-year-old will eventually be moved, I think, to a different court. Right now, it's all happening in the children's court, which means not allowed to tell you his name, not allowed to tell you much about who he is, and we'll have to wait and see whether they make an order to do this as an adult. I don't see if they've done that already. The magistrate was telling him that the allegations before the court are serious and that you have been charged with murder, and that the DNA would be used to cross check with an item found with Layla's remains. An item. What is that? Not sure. Is it a weapon? Is it some sort of other item? Don't know. We'll see. The case returns to court next month, and that's literally all I can give you. So they basically just told him that the cops had applied to get a DNA sample so they could use it in their investigation and for testing. That was approved by the court, and the 16-year-old boy has been told to comply and to give that DNA sample to police. If he does not comply, the police can use reasonable force to extract that DNA sample from him. So he was told, like, don't play any games, give it to them because otherwise they're gonna like, pin you down and get it. They'll get it by force. So I will tell you more when we have it. Right now, that's really all I can report on it. But I wanted to give you an update because so many people were touched by her story and asked me to keep you in the loop. So I am keeping you in the loop of what is going on. It is in the very, very early stages of going through the judicial system here in Victoria. Very early. We will have to wait probably towards the end of the year before we start seeing any type of advancement in the case at all. But hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you. We got heaps of stories to catch you up on tonight. Um, some more information about Lily Hooper. Remember yesterday that there was that big up and down with it where we were told originally she had been found alive. Then we found out like minutes later that no, she hasn't been found alive, but they found her body. Well, today we got some more information about not how that mistake happened, but sort of contributing reasons towards it. And one of them is because apparently the people who were helping trying to find Miss Hooper, they were using a code on the radio, and the code was so that people who were not intended to hear the radio transmissions, because there are people who can hear them, who are either not involved with the search or they're listening in from other radio receivers around the area. They were using the word water bottle as the word for Miss Hooper, Lily Hooper. That was her code name. So her code name was a water bottle. So if they had found the water bottle, then they had found Lily Hooper. Now, when she was found, they said water bottle located, but what they said, well, that's the small part of it. What they actually said was, I think they said like water bottle broken, and that is what they said. But what the people on the other end took that to mean was that they found Lily Hooper, but that she was injured. So when you say water bottle broken, they thought, okay, they found her, but there's some sort of injury. She's alive. We're gonna try and go get her. Um, Maybe that's the best description that they could find or think of. But yeah, that is why that whole water bottle comment, when they said, oh, she was found with half a water bottle, that had nothing to do with it. We learned today that it's actually a code word, and it was, yeah, the word to describe if anyone found who they were looking for. So yeah, that's what they said over the radio. Water bottle broken, and they took that to mean that she was alive. Unfortunately, we know now she was not alive. We still have Layla on the thing there, so I'll change it. There's Lily Hooper for you there. Let me see if yeah, here. Searchers had sent a message over the radios at 11:27 a.m. saying that she had been found, to which operators requested that they use a water bottle analogy to confirm her condition. Water bottle is a code word used by searchers to avoid delivering upsetting news to those listening on radios, in this case, Lily's family. The volunteer told the radio, water bottle broken, to which base operators responded, you found our MP, missing person, and they are injured. Please relay your exact latitude and longitude. Hey, Kat. Um, and that's how the sort of mess up and mistake happened. That Okay, naughty cat. That's how that happened. So it was when they were talking about this radio transmission that had been confused, that's why. It's because they had used this analogy about a water bottle, and it looks like everyone had got it screwed up. So, yeah. A lot of people are are saying that that's not good enough and that the communication, even coded, should have been better thought out. That there should have been either a word and a number associated with it. So, like, water bottle one equals the Lily Hooper alive, water bottle two equals injured, water bottle three equals deceased. That would have been a much more clear way of communicating it. That way, each word has a direct meaning rather than water bottle broken can mean multiple different things. Like that's why they took it to mean that she was injured and not actually dead. So that is where, yeah. Yeah, death is an injury, right? But when you're thinking in the terms of a missing person investigation, what do they want? They want that person most likely alive, right? So everyone gets excited. You found the water bottle. Oh, it's broken. Oh, that must mean she's injured but alive. Unfortunately, it's a mistake. So that's how that came about. James said, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard." This is, what happened though? What is this? Okay. Yeah, that's what happened though. So that's why we heard about this random water bottle yesterday. I don't know where the premier, Chris Minns, got the whole she was found with a half bottle of water. I don't know where that came from. Sounds like he just made stuff up or I don't even know. I'm not even sure. But that is what they've given as a response today about it. That yeah, that's what they said over the radio. The other thing is apparently where they found her was really hard to get her out. Here's a photo. So I don't know where exactly around here that she might have been, whether she was at the bottom of one of these cliffs that you can see, but it took them until late in the night to actually extract her from the area. So wherever she was, and I don't think it's been made public, wherever they found her was uh pretty hard to get to. So I was trying to find out if I could actually tell you, but I don't think so. Da, 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 da. I'm just trying to see like what time did they actually get her today? Um, so they found her at 11:30 a.m. yesterday, but what time did they actually airlift it on? Oh, wasn't until this morning? I thought it was last night that they did it. Hold on. What time did they airlift her? Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. Like what exact time? Yeah, okay. So it was last night. I thought so. So last night is when they finally extracted her from the scene. But when you think about when they found her at 11:30 a.m. in the morning and then it took them until sometime in the night to try and grab her, like, this is the information I have. Her body was discovered at 11:30 a.m. on Thursday. However, extraction was severely delayed because she was located far from clear walking tracks and in an isolated, steep cliff section of the Nadai National Park. Pole Air and rescue helicopters initially could not penetrate the dense tree canopy covering the ravine where her body had been located. Crews had to formulate an alternate approach on Thursday afternoon to safely retrieve her, which was ultimately finalized under the cover of darkness. So even after the news went out last or yesterday, they were still working at it until into the evening. So this was a hell of a operation to try and get her out and get her back to her, get her back to her family and that. Danny said, do they think she fell? I don't know. You would take the, assumption being that the heights that you see up here where they're working and that they wanted to use a helicopter. 'Cause, like, one of the things they often do is they can walk people in, put someone on a stretcher that they carry, and then carry them back out. But the fact they didn't use that technique tells me either it was too far, too high, or too difficult to do it. Guys, hold on. Sorry. Muffin likes to play up when I do the live stream. Like I said, I tell you, he just runs around and howls at the top of his lungs because I'm not paying attention to him. And he's like, "Why are you doing work and stuff? Like, why can't you pat me and come play with me?" He gets a lot of attention and pats and toys, and he's just a jerk when you don't pay 100% of your attention all the time to him. He doesn't understand why you can't play with him all the time. So he's being a bit of a jerk right now. All right, here, let's continue. So yeah, that's the information I have is that that was the extraction method that they ended up having to use was pretty complex, and they had to find a way around the tree canopy, enveloping the ravine where they found her. When they use the word ravine, it tells me that, yeah, most likely, look, either way, she's died somehow. And when you're talking about a cliff face like what we see in these photos, there are several ways someone could have died. They could have died from exposure to the elements. They could have been bitten by a snake. Don't laugh. That has happened before where people have originally gotten lost, and in their efforts to try and get out, they have been bitten by a snake and succumbed to the venom of the snake. That is a possibility. She could have fallen as well. Um, One of the things they were talking about in the press conference yesterday was there seemed to be some information that some media had that she was in a section that had been checked before. They kept asking this question about, was she close to where you thought she was? Had anyone checked that section before? Why did you go back and check that area again? And they were sort of hinting at like it was somewhere really obvious, but obviously had been missed. So I don't know if, like, they're gonna cop a bit of crap for maybe missing her where they somewhere they checked, like, days ago, but that is sort of what they were talking about. Yeah, either way, a very sad story. I think even after 8 days, everyone had hope alive, thinking that maybe, just maybe, this girl who was young, fit, and very athletic, and a very experienced hiker could somehow survive out there for the 8 days, but unfortunately, it was not to be. They had a thermal imaging helicopter out there too, and I don't know if that's how they actually found her, but from what I understand, a volunteer found her and then alerted the chain of command. So there you go. That is your update for that. Obviously, telling the public and her family that she was found alive will forever be a mistake that everyone would like to have back. That is horrifying that the family had to think that even for a second. But when we heard about it here, 8 to 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, the family thought their loved one, daughter, was alive. And I think that's pretty horrific. Is this it? All right, no, we're not going to play that. Um, yeah. Anyway, that is your update about Lily Hooper. bringing to an end that search for her that went on for about 8 days. Hopefully, hopefully we get more information as it goes through the coronial inquest type process now. Sean said, "Where did she live? Did they say?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were saying that she lived not that far away. I don't think. Where's this? I have a suburb for it. Hold on, Lily Hooper. Just give me a sec. It was listed in the original report when she went missing. Where is uh here. That's right. She lived in Oakdale. Oakdale. So Oakdale is where she lived. It is a outer western town in New South Wales, Australia, roughly 80 kilometers from the CBD. I don't even know where that is. I'm having a look. Where is it compared to? Okay, it's not far from the Nadai. Here, I can show you guys, just so you guys are aware. This is Oakdale here, the outline. The Nadai National Park is right here. So this is the Nadai National Park right here. So her suburb where she lives with I don't know if she lives with her parents or on her own, but you can see the area itself backs onto the national park. Like it's part of Oakdale and then it goes into here. So yeah. So look, hey, good to see you. What? Um, don't go alone. Maybe not. The chain of command or a water cooler? It could be. Could be. So that is your update for that. Also, yeah, we had that verdict for Lachlan Young yesterday. Just before I hopped on the show yesterday, I was literally in that verdict with the jury and the judge, and I listened to it, then jumped off, and then jumped in with you guys. And the verdict for that was not guilty. The one thing that sort of came into the media overnight was a piece of information that I had known too, because obviously I was covering it and observing the trial for it. But the jury in this particular case were never told about Hannah Maguire. So last year, we know that Lachlan Young was convicted of the murder of Hannah Maguire. The jury in this particular case for this sex crime that it was an allegation, but now it has been not proven in the County Court of Victoria. Um, they were never told of those crimes or convictions. So this particular trial was done as like in a vacuum almost. It was done on its own merits. And yeah, we ended up with a not guilty verdict about 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday. So that is in case people missed it, that is the update for that. All right. All right. All right. Let's move on for that. Yeah, we did that. We've done this. All right, let's talk about this masked person terrorizing women. Now, I've been in trials and court hearings all week, but I had been following this case throughout the US since the early part of the week. They'd been trying to find this guy in a sort of Chucky mask, running after women and scaring them. And it is really sort of horrifying when you see the footage. You see this guy in Philadelphia just terrorizing women. Like I can't imagine how scary that is for women to be jogging, doing your normal thing, and then all of a sudden, a guy is running after you, and you don't know what he wants. Is he going to attack you? Is he going to rape you? Is he going to do anything like that? And I think it would be frightening. And now they're trying to find it. So we know the ID of it. For a number of days, we didn't know who this person was, but today we got the ID of the suspect. But watch some of the video here of what he did.
You following breaking news. Philadelphia police say the masked suspect terrorizing people in Center City has now been unmasked. There is an active arrest warrant for this man, 22-year-old Zymire Hughes. He's wanted on felony and misdemeanor charges. Our Rusty Mate has the latest on the search.
Police originally told us that there were about a half a dozen victims in this case. Now investigators believe as many as 15 or 16 people were terrorized by this masked man in less than a half an hour time span. At this point, you've probably seen that scary surveillance video of this man in a mask running up to people and threatening them with that Chucky style mask on. Now investigators believe that they have identified the man behind the mask. At this point, they're just trying to track him down. Take another look at that suspect. This is 22-year-old Zymire Hughes. Investigators say he is wanted on misdemeanor and felony charges. Police say the incidents happened around 5 o'clock in the morning last Wednesday, August 12th, along Chestnut Street. Investigators say Hughes approached and harassed multiple people before targeting a woman who was jogging near City Hall. He allegedly asked her, quote, "Are you ready to die?" which caused her to run faster and seriously injure her leg. Investigators say he then went on to Suburban Station where officers spotted him wearing the mask, but they say he eventually got away by boarding a Route 33 bus. They shared a strong message for Hughes today, who they believe has fled Pennsylvania and has ties to California and Nevada.
Who's scared now? Who's running now? We have reason to know that Zymire Hughes is trying to avoid a warrant for his arrest on misdemeanor and felony charges. And part of the reason we are here is to ask for people who have been victimized by Zymire Hughes to come forward.
What else is alarming about this case? Investigators believe Hughes did this for the sole purpose of scaring people, either for his own personal benefit or with the intention of posting these videos online later. Again, police are asking anyone who has been victimized by Hughes or who may know his whereabouts to come forward and contact Central Detectives Division.
It's very concerning. If you got the wrong woman, especially in Philadelphia, what if they pulled out a gun and shot him? I mean, you would be in your right mind to do something like that. Women are already paranoid, frightened when they're out jogging on their own. Adding a guy doing this to it is probably every woman's worst nightmare that goes jogging. I mean, we've all heard the stories. There was just one in Victoria this week where a 13-year-old boy was arrested for trying to sexually assault a woman exercising in her morning exercise routine. She was going through a park. He popped out of a sewer sort of area and then tried to force her into a sexual act. You imagine, like, the women that go and do this every day, like, that must be in the back of their mind every time they step out to jog. We have a case coming up. Samantha Murphy, a woman, went out for a jog on a Sunday morning. Should be like the safest morning of the week to head out and go for, a run or exercise, and she's never been seen again. So to deliberately go out there and do this to someone, randomly, you are playing on that fear of them. Like, you are a real loser. You're not fun. It's not a prank. It's not like, haha, I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel and everyone's going to laugh and I'm going to become famous. No, you are playing on a well ingrained fear in women. And it is the lowest of the low. It is not comedy. It is not, a prank video or something. And I hope that's not what's going on here. Because if it does, geez, they should throw the absolute book at you. There's been far too many cases where we've had to have very awful conversations about women's freedom, and they should feel safe to be able to go out and exercise on any given day. but it sings like this. It sings like Samantha Murphy. It sings like the 13-year-old who was just arrested in Victoria. It's the 500 other thousands of cases, like the one in Houston a few months ago. There were multiple women attacked in Houston who were actually sexually assaulted, and they still haven't tracked down that guy. There is a guy running around in Houston attacking women. I think there was another one, and they caught that guy, but there's another one that they've never caught the guy. And then you have this guy heading out there in the mask. The thing is, it's not even original. This type of thing was done on YouTube back in the early days of YouTube. People have been doing the dressing up as a tree, the dressing up as a clown, the dressing up as a snowman, the dressing up as 40 billion other things and scaring random people. But the difference between them all and this is that those ones were done in such a way where it's a prank. It's, for a laugh. Yes, at the expense of a innocent person, but it's a joke. Dressing up like this and running after women just trying to do, whatever, that is not, like I said, it is preying on a well ingrained fear in women while they're exercising. And I hope they catch this guy. Apparently, he is on the run. Hopefully, they throw the absolute effing book at him. Like, it is really dumb. Um, well, he got his infamy from doing it, but whether it's actually going to be anything to be proud of at the end, I don't think so. So they're saying he is on the run. They believe he has ties to California and Nevada, and they're saying here, according to police, the suspect made threatening comments while holding his hand behind his back, causing the victims to stumble and sustain injury. The victim was seen on video having turned around in an apparent attempt to lose the masked figure, but he quickly changed course and continued to chase the woman. A second Yes. A second camera showed the jogger running down a 5-lane road with the suspect trailing behind her. It was only a couple of weeks ago I brought you another story about a guy well known in the area who was chasing after women. That guy is actually got some sort of mental problem, and he is a well-known violent offender. Um, I brought you that suspect from Carolina only a couple of weeks ago, and now we have this dork who thinks this is a great idea. So sort of like the gist of it the other day was they had CCTV of him without the mask on, but he was wearing another mask to cover his identity. Well, now they found this photo of him as well. This is from the Philadelphia Police Department, and Zymire is now running. Now, like they said, you were chasing and running after women, and now you're on the run. And they're saying, how does it feel to be wanted, scared in a manhunt situation? He's 22 years old. Zymire Hughes is his name. And yeah, the other thing too is the time of day, 5:30 a.m. last Wednesday. Any woman jogging at that time of the morning is probably even got more of a heightened alert going on in the back of their mind. I can't imagine how frightened that woman probably was, like for real. Like she tripped over and ended up injuring herself trying to get away. There's some of the CCTV captures of what it looked like around that time. Chipmunk said the age of 25 for brain development, he missed it. Well, that could be true. Hey Marlene, how are you? Why women chose the bear? I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, let's have a look for Mr. Zymire. Yeah, who's running now is the title of a lot of articles right now about it. Who is running now? Yeah, I want to take you out to Fox 29. They have a version of it too. If it'll go. Come on.
Philadelphia police releasing the mugshot of the man who they say is behind that scary Chucky-style mask. Investigators say 22-year-old Zymire Hughes terrorized more than a dozen people in Center City last week. The bizarre case garnering national attention. Our Dawn Timoney with more on how investigators say they were able to identify him.
The Philadelphia District Attorney today announcing an arrest warrant for Zymire Hughes, the 22-year-old wanted for terrorizing people in Center City while wearing a disturbing Halloween mask last Wednesday. The DA sending Hughes a warning.
You think it's funny to scare people? Well, get ready to get scared by us, because we got the handcuffs, we got the jail cell, we got the Philly jury that's going to tell you it's not funny at all.
Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner putting Zymire Hughes on notice. Krasner says he harassed, threatened, and chased people wearing this creepy mask. This all happening in the early morning hours of August 12th.
There may be people who think this is somehow enjoyable. It's also criminal, and we're coming for you. So think twice.
Investigators laying out a timeline of when Hughes left his apartment building around 2 o'clock that morning. The first incident happening in Center City around 5 o'clock at 10th and Chestnut.
The victim is absolutely terrified of Mr. Hughes, crouches down with his hands up in a pleading motion, but it's readily apparent that this individual is certainly in fear of their life.
Investigators say the sinister behavior culminates when Hughes starts chasing a jogger near Dilworth Park at JFK Boulevard, saying to the woman, "Are you ready to die?"
She's startled. He repeats that phrase. She turns around, runs away from him, and in the process, she severely injures one of her legs. And it's going to require extensive medical treatment.
Hughes then seen on camera going down into SEPTA Suburban Station, continuing to harass people, and where he is eventually spotted by 2 SEPTA police officers, but ultimately manages to evade them. Central detectives working around the clock on this. They believe the motive, trying to capture people being terrified to attract social media attention.
I think he filmed this for social media content, either A, for his own sick personal amusement, or B, he had plans of posting it online at some point and possibly monetizing it.
Investigators believe Hughes left the area 2 nights ago. They say he has ties to Los Angeles and Las Vegas.
If Zymire Hughes was trying to scare people, make them run, who's scared now?
Who's scared now? Indeed. I mean, yeah, so we hear it is most likely for some sort of content aggregation or content to post online. It is an unoriginal idea. It has been done so many times. It is not original no more. Dating back to, YouTube and when people dressed up as like the giant spider or the dog, the dog with the spider, and it would like run after people, even though the dog was not being threatening, it was like being really cute, but it would run around in this giant spider costume. All the people that dressed up as a snowman, all the whatever, there's a guy that dressed up as a tree. They've been doing it for years. It is not original no more. And sort of making people jump in this particular way, it's not funny, haha, because hey, I scared someone. It's life-threatening, gun in your face type of, scaring someone, especially women out at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. If someone had turned around with a weapon and fired it on you, I reckon you and your family would have expected everyone to be up in arms about it. And oh my God, it was just a joke. And well, he was just trying to make some content for YouTube. but a lot of people, me included, would have thought that person had every right to pull a firearm on you and, possibly shoot you because it's not like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 5:30 in the morning. Uh, and like I said, it's preying on a fear that all women who go out and exercise have, which is that someone will come out, attack them, sexually attack them, hurt them somehow. And yeah, it's brutal. Hey, Missy, how are you? I don't know where everyone is tonight. Where is everyone? Are you all taking Thursday off? Are you all taking Thursday off? You guys should be here hanging out on Nights with Ping. We worked very hard to try and bring you all that court information this week. And I hope people will come and be in the chat. And, you know, people go, how can I help Ping? How can I help the channel? Be here, chat in the chat, talk to other people, and be a part of the community. That's how you can help. If you don't want to donate or something like that, I get it, and not everyone can. Be a part of the community. Come and talk to people. Leave an idea, something like that. That would help. Yeah, that would help a lot. All right. What do we do about this guy? Well, I don't think it's going to be very long until they find him. We had a woman in Florida who murdered someone, buried them in a shallow grave with a zip tie around their neck. Marshals brought her in less than 40 days. How long do you think this person is going to have? I don't think it's going to be that long. I think maybe by Monday, they're most likely going to have this guy in custody. I don't think he's going to be able to out trick authorities for as long as Isabel Johnson did. Isabel Johnson somehow preyed on the kindness of people for over a month, and yeah. Chipmunk said, "I won't be bit surprised if he has a DV pass or something else." Well, we can have a look. What's his name? Zymire. Zymire. How do we spell that? Ping, you should know how to spell it. I do know how to spell it, but only on Tuesdays. Let's have a look. That doesn't give me any. Let's have a look. Oh, interesting. So he's actually previously from Montgomery County in Pennsylvania, where he has an active warrant for probation for a previous criminal offense in Pennsylvania. They're saying here the current charges that he could be facing are aggravated assault due to the attack on the woman and the injuries she got. Apparently, her leg is so severe that she has to go through multiple surgeries to fix it. That's so sad. Leg injuries can like change someone's life because they don't always heal the way it was before. And they can be a problem for years and years after. I feel so sorry for that woman. He's also being done with terroristic threats, simple assault, reckless endangerment, stalking and harassment, and intimidation. I'm just trying to see if there was like a court filing I can find. I cannot find a previous court filing for him or a mugshot, but it does just say that he does have an active warrant out of Philadelphia. So they're saying here Hughes may have fled Pennsylvania and has ties to California and Nevada, working with the U.S. Marshals to try bring him back right now. So they believe he has fled Pennsylvania in totality. So he's not um, just running from one part of Pennsylvania to the other. He's actually may have left and gone somewhere else. Hold on. All right. Okay. No other priors, though, that I can find. Chipmunk City should be forced to wear that mask. What, in jail or? Um, the reporter said it was a mugshot. It must be an old one, though. Do they still make people wear the mask anymore? Like in that photo, where is it? This one here. He's wearing like a COVID mask, an N95 mask. Do they still make people wear those in a police station or jail anymore? That means maybe this is from his prior offending, because I don't remember the last time they made people do that. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely like an N95 type thing. I didn't think they made people do that anymore. Danny said he has a prior or wouldn't be on yeah, we know he has a prior. He also now has a warrant out for breaking his probation, and they're trying to bring him in for that too. So I reckon by Monday, Ping has $20 on Monday. I reckon by Monday they're going to have him in custody. I don't think he's going to be able to run very far. I don't think he has the resources to go on the run for a long period of time. So I reckon he'll be in custody soon. US Marshals will track him down pretty quickly. Hey, I wonder if our friend Trevor is here tonight. Trevor, are you out there? I wonder. I have some interesting theories about who Trevor might be. If Trevor's listening, I'm on to you. I'm on to you, Trevor. No, I'm just kidding. Kim said bad choices, dude. Yeah, I know. Very bad. Bad idea to go try and scare women. I can't believe that poor lady's leg is that bad. I thought maybe she just like hurt it, like stretch the muscle or something like that. No, apparently it's really messed up and she needs a couple of surgeries to fix it, which I think is freaking awful. Who's Trevor? Trevor was someone in the chat last Friday. And hmm? Hold on. Oh, okay. All right, Sean. I appreciate it. Good luck with that. Danny said, "Who's Trevor?" I have a feeling I know who Trevor is, but it's just an inside joke. It's okay. It's all good. Okay. Let's see if over the weekend we get any more updates about Zymire Hughes and whether we get an arrest, he gets into custody, something like that. Um, yeah, let's hope he's in custody by Monday. That's my guess, and we'll see what happens. I'm pretty good with these things, and I've been right a number of times before, but sometimes I'm wrong too. All right, we've done with Mask Guy. I have another story. I ummed and ahed on whether to do this story at all. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, you know what? If I shy away from it, what is that telling people? That we should not talk about this? And I want to bring to you what may be one of the worst mothers I've heard of in a while. And I don't know if you've heard of this woman. Her name is Helena Nicole Hoyle. She's 27 years old and was arrested on August 14 last week for 2 counts of trafficking and 2 counts of CN, which is child neglect. Um, she has an arrest warrant out of Berkeley, Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, and this story is terrible. This woman is every meaning, like every meaning of the word mother, every meaning of the word mom, everything we think of about what good mums do for children. It's a safe environment. Mums are always who we run to when we need help, and they're always the first to support us, right? This woman is horrible. What she did to her daughter is unforgivable. Unforgivable. And this woman should rot in jail for the rest of her life. And I have, because of YouTube rules, I have to say this in certain ways, and I hate it. I wish I could just talk like a normal human, but apparently YouTube thinks, even though we're an over 18 show, no one's here that's like 12. But because apparently a 12-year-old might come here and listen to it at some point, we're not allowed to say real words. So I'm sorry about that. Um, what she did was she pimped her own daughter out, not just once, multiple times, to the point that her younger daughter was able to corroborate what had been happening inside that home. The fact that the younger daughter was able to tell police in her limited vocabulary about what had been going on and what her mother had been allowing strange men to do to her sister is horrifying. And they're saying here, per the affidavits, the youngest alleged victim was unable to provide the same level of detail as the older girl because of her age. However, she corroborated significant aspects of the disclosure, including that multiple males inappropriately touched not just her sister, but also her, um, and that the mum was allowing it to happen. Hoyle, the mother, on at least one occasion was allegedly sitting on the floor nearby, scrolling TikTok on her phone while one of the children was assaulted. So, this mother, and I use that term very loosely, was in the room while the horrific offenses were taking place against these two young girls, and basically watched it happen while scrolling on her phone on TikTok and allowing these men to touch her daughters inappropriately. You are an evil, evil woman. Evil. The fact that you would do this to your own daughters is unforgivable. Not just personally, but in life, in the grander scheme of our communities, in humanity. The fact that it is such a throwaway topic for you that you would just sit in the corner while it happened and scroll TikTok, and the fact that you were in the room, for what reason? To act as some sort of non-protector? What, to keep an eye on it in case it went too far? It went too far when you allowed any man to touch your daughter like that. You know, it's not like you can be there and be some sort of protector. Oh, you've gone too far. Don't be doing that to her. That's not, you should never have allowed that to happen in the first place. It's crazy to me. Um, so her name is Helena Nicole Hoyle. And I and ahed about giving you this story, but I felt like if I don't, then she wins because her offending goes under the table. No one hears about it. No one is able to associate these horrific crimes with her photo. And her daughters were 4 and 7 when she was arrested, but they believe this has been going on for not a long period of time, but some period of time. So her daughters could have even been younger than that when this all started. Now, she blames their circumstances, that they live in squalor, they're quite poor, they live below the poverty line, and that she was doing this in exchange for money. But not just money. She was also doing it in exchange for illegal drugs. She was also taking drugs for access to her 4 and 7-year-old daughter. Um, The arrest affidavit alleges that Hoyle allowed the men access to her daughters in exchange for money and drugs. Authorities, yeah, they're saying here investigators said the youngest daughter also reportedly witnessed the acts being done to her sibling. So she was able to describe what these men did to her older sibling. The fact you have a 4-year-old who's able to describe these type of things and in her little child mind is able to articulate it in her best language at 4. It's shocking. It really is. This woman, Helena Hoyle, is an absolute disgusting human being. Really. Um, it's so frustrating, guys. I hate men and women that do this.
Young daughters in exchange for money and drugs. Deputies arrested 27-year-old Helena Hoyle on Friday. She is charged with 2 counts of trafficking persons and 2 counts of child neglect. Deputies say they learned about a 4-year-old girl who had been sexually assaulted on August 3rd. 2 victims, ages 4 and 7, were interviewed and told deputies several unknown men had assaulted them several times. Warrants claim that Hoyle let the men assault her daughters in exchange for money and drugs. She's being held on a $250,000 bond.
I hope those little girls never get to, like, I hope Helena never gets access to them ever again. And I hope CPS puts them in a place where even if they would be marginally safer and that where no men can take advantage of them, where they have someone who will be their protector. I hope so, because with Helena Hoyle, their mother, they are not protected and they are not safe. That is, that story makes me so angry because this woman is allowing these men to do that basically for her own reasons because she wants more drugs. And like I get people with addiction issues and stuff like that, but your daughters are not a barter item. They are not there to be traded. They are not there to be a function of your addiction. And you know, I have all the sympathy in the world for people who are suffering addiction issues. I do not have any sympathy for a mother who would put her addiction issues over her daughters like that. That is there's resources that can help. There's different charities and things like that. They can come, they can give food, they can give stuff like that. You don't have to take what this woman probably thought was the easy way out to drugs and money. And you have scarred your daughters for life. They probably will never trust men ever again in their lives. And they will never be okay. They will never, I hope they're okay, but I don't, we know the history of what this does to children, male and female, when this happens to them. This is awful, just really awful. Very, very awful story. Helena Hoyle, 2 counts of trafficking, they're her own daughters, and 2 counts of child neglect. Um, oh, just ah, send it to the chamber, the Sparky chamber with old Sparky. Just send her right now. Um, to me, people that do that cannot be rehabilitated. You cross that line. It's such a deep line in the sand, and it's glowing red that it's just like you cannot. It is just no. And the thing that gets me is that she was in the room, sitting on the floor nearby, as if this is some sort of her own line in the sand where it's like, oh, I'm here just in case something inappropriate happens. What do you mean? Like, This is already highly illegal, inappropriate, dangerous, like all sorts of things. You being in the corner scrolling on your phone is not doing shit. Yeah, those poor little girls. I hope they're going to be okay. I hope they're going to be okay. I hope they're somewhere safe now. And that's one of the most awful stories I think I've ever had to cover. But I wanted to tell you because we have a lot of people who are from Berkeley, and we have a lot of people who are from that side in California. And I just wanted to tell you that there is this type of person in your community. She's only 27. Sorry, not Berkeley, California, Berkeley, South Carolina. Ping, get the states right. It's in Bonner, South Carolina. It's Berkeley County Sheriff's Department, which is a different place. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see. Court records detail. So the court records also detail where those neglect charges came from. The children detailed about living in severe poverty without access to running water, a, a proper toilet, or basic hygiene, detailing that they would go to the toilet in a bucket and that their mom would make them use the bucket for toileting. This is their lives that they were living in. Um, And in my opinion, the poverty aspect of it is not because they didn't have any money. It's because mom would use all the money on drugs. Like they had money. It's just yeah, she was basically using all the money on herself and feeding her own addiction rather than taking care of her two little girls. Sean said when they leave prison, they get anonymity in Australia. Unfortunately, yes, but that is changing, Sean. In Queensland and New South Wales, there's going to be a sex offender register for online. So if you offend and you are convicted, when you leave jail, you will actually be put on a map, and people will be able to look it up in the area and see that you live within a certain area. They are doing that now. Marlene said, "Where are the baby daddies?" That would be a interesting point to know. I don't have that information, but it would be a interesting thing to know about. There's her mugshot, by the way. Looks very sad and sorry for herself, but not for her daughters. I doubt she even cares that she'll probably never see her daughters ever again. Um, I know this area, Bono in South Carolina. I know it's a pretty it's a nice area, but I hear it does have a lot of poverty as well. Although it has some very nice parts to it as well. It is right near the water. It is right near the water. Here, I'll show you. Here. Here's the county right here. And it's a really nice place, but it does have a lot of places that fall below the poverty line. And like a lot of the work in this area is you either work for the government or you work for the fisheries, like you work in the fishing boats. So there's not a lot of work in this area either, and there is a lot of poverty as well. Um, yeah, it's right near the water. There you go. See, right near the water line. If there is some very nice places here too, like expensive type properties as well. So there you go. It's right on the waterway. So if I zoom out, we can see where it is. There you go. Right on the water. And there you go. Leads out to the ocean, to the beaches. So there's Charleston. Everyone knows where Charleston is. And yeah. South Carolina, hey. So yeah, awful story. I hope I never have to talk about her ever again. She's being remanded in custody. She doesn't have $250,000 to get out of jail. So even if she was able to put up 10% with a bail bondsman, I don't think she's able to do that. All right, what else do we have? I had another update. Hold on. Thought we had an update for a missing person case. Give me a sec, guys. I know we have a second story. We did that one. We did this one. So if you want to know what the big story going on in Australia right now, it actually involves Victoria in Melbourne down here and Sydney. I'm not going to do a lot on it, but there was allegations from a professional football team, what we call AFL down here, a team called the Sydney Swans, were down in Melbourne at a hotel for so they'd already played the game. They were about to go back to Sydney when apparently like 5 a.m. in the morning, they invited some what's the best way to put it? Some sex workers to come and hang out with them by paying them. And from there, we don't quite know what happened, but we know that an allegation of assault, possibly sexual assault, was raised. And now we have 5 of the team's best players about to be, well, they have been suspended for the rest of the year when the finals are just about to get underway in September. So it basically tanked the team's chances of going to the grand final because they're basically, yeah, suspended 5 of their best players from the team, and there is a investigation with Victorian police happening behind the scenes trying to find out what happened to these women in this hotel when these football players were supposed to be, working on team business, going back to Sydney in the morning, not partying in their hotel room till 5 a.m. And that is what's going on down here at the moment. They are trying to complete their investigation and see if there are any criminal charges to do, basically. So I haven't covered it, but it is a very big case down here at the moment. Give me a sec. I will find our other story for you. No, not that one. Uh-huh. I want to go out to Nevada. You remember how we spoke about a little while ago that every time the US has really hot summers in Nevada, Lake Mead starts evaporating. And what do they find in Lake Mead when it evaporates? What do they find? Everyone in the chat, this is your hot quiz time of the show. What do they find in Lake Mead when the water levels go down? You tell me. You guys are the true crime people. What do they find in Lake Mead? I feel like I'm from one of those game shows. What do they find in Lake Mead? Who's messaging me? Okay. Yep. So you guys are right. They find bodies. So they found these bones. I think that those look like rib bones. I don't know what that is. A hip? Maybe a hip bone or a maybe a collarbone and a jaw, a lower part of a jaw that they found. These are what they found in the bottom of Lake Mead recently after it evaporated again. I cannot believe we're here again. a while ago, a couple of years ago, they found the body in the barrel. Now we have more human. How many human remains are in the bottom of Lake Mead? I really wonder. Is it thousands? Is it hundreds? Is it 20? It has been going on for a while. Hold on. Yep. So the water level in Lake Mead apparently hit a very a low of the water level, which hasn't happened in a number of years again. And I want to take you out to Fox 5. If it'll play.
Starts now.
Thanks for being with us here at 11 o'clock. A human jaw and more bones. Fox 5 following the latest discovery at Lake Mead as levels continue to plummet. And only on Fox 5, our Jacqueline Schultz spoke with the man who found the remains. Jacqueline?
Now, so this is where the latest remains were found. It was on Sunday. It's right here at Boulder Beach. Now, as you see, over the past few years, there have been other sightings found also in Boulder Beach, Hemingway Harbor, and Colville Bay. A string of them were back in 2022, also when lake levels were hitting historic lows.
Ew. My daughter went straight to the water. I ran after her because she didn't have her life jacket, and as soon as I grabbed her, I see like down by her legs that there was like what appears to be like some bones and some teeth.
Mario Lescano took his family to Boulder Beach on Sunday. He says he tossed aside a bone and thought it was from a dead animal. His wife pointed out this jawbone had fillings.
I was like, well, we got it. Like, we better call the cops because I already touched it. We called them and they showed up there and they started like closing the scene, calling more people, divers, forensics.
Friend Dianelise Cruz got video of investigators searching the water. Police took a report, and Metro says the coroner responded to the scene. Her video, posted to Instagram, is getting thousands of views.
I'm a real estate agent here in Vegas, and I do a lot of education videos, and I don't get viral. But if you put something like that, people's gonna go there and obviously it's going to go vital.
Sunday, lake levels plummeted to 1,039 feet. Those are lows not seen since 2022. That's the same year a number of human remains were discovered at Boulder Beach, Colville Bay, and Hemingway Harbor. That includes this body of a man found in a barrel back on May 1st, 2022. The coroner says they died of a gunshot wound. Investigators are still working to identify the man.
I don't know if it's been a while that he has been there, but whoever he is and the family that is looking for him, they probably find it now.
And Mario says detectives will be in contact with him over the next few days. The Park Service says rangers are still investigating the discovery. Tom.
All right, Jacqueline.
There we go. I think that is, I just wonder how many more are we going to find? How many? There you go. They're the different feet, the different lowerings that we've had over the years. And I think it was that one back in 2022 where we had the barrel. And the barrel, did they ever find out who was in the barrel? I don't remember if they ever did. If you don't remember that one, I'll show you. There's the barrel, and you can see there is definitely what looks to be like a femur or something, some clothing. Someone, looks like a mob killing was thrown in there in the water like 30, 40 years ago. That's right. I remember they had a reconstruction of that person. Hold on. I remember they had like a digital reconstruction of like who it might have been. Oh, they found it? Lead on no, 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 it was a I thought they'd found it, but it wasn't. That's right, they had the clothing. There you go. So this was like the type of clothing that he was wearing from a company called Idle Time, and they reckon it was from the 70s. And they were asking if anyone knew where they sold this type of clothing or someone that might have worn that type of clothing. And he was wearing a pair of jeans as well. And they had these markings, and they were trying to figure out, like, where were they sold? Do you know anyone that owned this type of clothes? And I don't know if they ever did. And then shoes. They had shoes as well. These type of shoes, I don't recognize them, but the Velcro definitely looks very 70s or 80s at the time. True Crime 101. I mean, to dump someone in a barrel in a lake? Yeah, sorta. Sorta. Okay. Let me have a look. So what are they saying about this one? You would think it's pretty old. I would think it's pretty old to have a body in Lake Mead at that point. If that's the lowest it's been in a while. Yeah, found on the 16th of August, water dropped to only 1,040 feet, which was very similar to the low from 2022. Who might it have been, though? Yeah, did they have another photo of that, what they found? No. So this shows you how much this is a different river, but the Overton Arm, how much these things can dry up. Like, look, that's how it is when it's got a lot of water. Look how much it can eventually evaporate, right? And no wonder you end up finding things that have been buried for a lifetime or more. Um, they're saying here in the one that you're seeing on the screen now, that one, they found multiple bodies and sunken pleasure boats and a myriad of previously submerged items. So what was that one? I'm not sure, but that one also receded, and they found a ton of stuff too. It's the Virgin River and the Overton Arm, and they found a ton of stuff. Yeah, you can see, like, if this doesn't dry up for like 3 decades because you've had good rainfall, some of these things will never be revealed for multiple decades unless it's like a diver or something like that. It's pretty cool. Oh, he touched the remains. I thought you were asking if I touched them. I was like, I didn't touch any remains. I'm not doing it. So yeah, there you go. I mean, I feel like it's going to become a yearly occurrence now. So what they found was several ribs and a lower jaw piece, but that's it. I wonder where the rest of them are. If they were able to find those bits, is there another barrel nearby that these parts somehow got out of? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there was a way, if they know how long it might have been there. So the person who found it was a man called Mario Lacano, and he was chasing his daughter into the water because she did not have a life jacket on at the time. He says, as soon as I grabbed her, I sat her down by her legs. I saw no, I saw by her legs there was what appeared to be some bones and some teeth. We noticed that it was very low water. The water looks compared to where it is now. As the water goes, the skeleton came up. I think he's just saying it's near the water line. So near the water line is where they found it. um, creepy. And you have to ask the question, why did they not find it in 2022 when the water receded that time? I know it's a little bit lower this time, but they told us when it receded in 2022 that they checked all the area after they found the barrel and said that they could not find any more human remains. So, where has this one been for like the last few years? Because I don't think it's a new one, right? You guys think it's old? I would think it is quite old as well. Now, where is our other photo? Yeah, let's go back here. Yeah, there you go. These don't look new. Like, they don't look like they've been there for only 4 years. These look like they've been in the water for possibly decades. Like, the bones are quite, almost like fossilized. They've been in the water for so long that they've almost become petrified. That's almost what they look like, almost like skeleton bones. Not skeleton bones, dinosaur bones when you get them. Sort of like that. Buried in the mud. Well, I mean, maybe there's more, because that's only a jaw and what, like 4 ribs? We're missing like a billion other ribs, a hip bone, a spine, legs, arms, and the rest of a skull. If those bits are in there, very likely that the rest of them are in that area somewhere. You got the rest of a human to find. We'll see. We'll see if they end up getting it. But I knew you guys would like that because we followed the other one a number of years ago. Here, let's have a look at the area again. So the water would have gone all the way up to the back here when it's full, all the way up to that grass line, just about. So yeah, it means like, it's like people walked on this over the years. There's probably even people that have like cut their feet open on the bones. I know it's being very gruesome, but they probably have. It's just like, where is the other part of that skull? It's got to be around there somewhere. I wonder if they will search and dig there. They did last time when they found the barrel. They said they did a massive search to see if they could find any other bodies. You would think because they've now found half a jaw, 5 ribs, and I reckon that is a collarbone. That's what it looks like to me, a collarbone, that bottom bit. It looks like, yeah, a collarbone. It looks like right here. It looks like that piece right there going to the shoulder on the arm there. So if they found that, it's not like they chopped someone in half and dumped them in the water. So I would think, yeah, they should have a look and see if they can find the rest of this poor person and keep them together. Kim said, I can't swim in bodies or water anymore, all thanks to Ping. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you now have a irrational fear of body parts and bones in the water. Sorry about that. What? We'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you for sending me that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Someone sent me that apparently there was another child that was kidnapped in North Carolina. Like, a couple of days ago, we had those 2 little girls who were kidnapped in Atlanta. Well, apparently there was a girl kidnapped in North Carolina. Geez, a lot of kidnappings this week. Actually, we'll do it now. We've sort of finished with the body in Nevada. Apparently there was a little girl kidnapped during a sleepover, and they are Yeah, Harnett County is where it happened. Here, I'm going to try to take you out to CBS 17 and hopefully it'll play. Or it won't. Hold on. All right. I'm trying to see if we can get this to load. CBS 17 has sometimes been our friend and sometimes not. I've got it. I got it for you. Now we got to wait for it to load.
We start tonight with a story you'll only see here on CBS 17. The woman who rescued a kidnapped child in Harnett County is sharing her story and how she helped police track down the suspect.
CBS 17's Barron James joins us live from the Irwin Police Department now with some new information in this case. Barron.
Yeah, Liz and Ross, first of all, that 12-year-old survivor was brought here to the police station, brought here to safety by a woman now being called a guardian angel, a good Samaritan, and a hero.
I just thank God I was there.
Jennifer Maxwell told me that she happened to be in the right place at the right time.
You know, and I thank God she got away, not just that I was there.
She was driving home from work as a health caregiver Sunday afternoon around 1:20 when she spotted the child clearly in distress running from a wooded area here along Highway 421 in Irwin.
And I seen a little girl run out of the woods down the embankment, and she just dropped in the ditch crying, and I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with that baby? She was very scratched up, like her legs had lines all over them. Either she went through briars or thick brush, and her arms had scratches, and she was barefooted. And I said, baby, are you okay? She said, no, I've been kidnapped. And I said, are you serious?
The Harnett County Sheriff's Office says this man, 38-year-old Daniel Gear, had kidnapped the 12-year-old girl from his home in Lillington before daybreak Sunday after she and his teenage niece had a Saturday night sleepover.
She got in, and I called 911.
Possibly suspect still on scene there, parked in the wood line.
Maxwell took police back to where she found the child and where the suspect's truck was located behind this DMV office.
He did say that they had been walking in the woods for a couple hours. He kept pushing her, like putting his hand on her shoulder and pushing her, telling her to walk.
And on her way back to give police her statement, Maxwell became a victim herself when a car crashed into her SUV, totaling it and leaving her scratched and bruised.
It's all swollen and bruised, and like just lacerations down my hand and my arms. And
so this lady rescued a child who had been dramatically kidnapped from a sleepover, had wandered through the woods for multiple hours until she came across this nice woman. This woman does the right thing, rescues the child, and then someone writes off her car in the process of helping. You know what they say, a good deed never goes unpunished. And this poor woman, for doing the ultimate act of kindness to save a child in a very scary situation, her car is now so sorry for her. Yeah, the fact that is that it right there? Is that the footage? Oh my God. Hold on. Now I'm gonna just turn it down, but let's have a watch. Oh my God. Well, that was dramatic. Jeez. Hold on.
Bruised.
It's all swollen and bruised, and like just lacerations down my hand and my arms. And
unfortunately, Maxwell had been down a similar road before, as CBS 17 reported in May 2024, while she worked as a Johnston County school bus driver, caught on camera someone crashing into her bus, seen here, injuring her and multiple kids on board.
But
so this woman is a hero. She drove that bus and someone crashed into it, and that was the aftermath. She rescues a child who's been kidnapped and wandering through the forest for multiple hours, and someone crashes into her car and writes it off. This poor woman, she's like, can't I ever just do something nice and not have my car written off or my job ruined? She's never going to help anyone again. No, she probably will. But that poor woman, how do you have your bus written off and then your car? Oh, far out. What a story. I'm glad that little girl is okay. And I'm trying to tell you some details here. So the girl popped out near US Highway 421 in Irwin. God, why do people message me? Hold on, guys. All right, sorry about that. So near Irwin, and so oh, really? She talks about how the child was barefooted and in her arms, and that this girl had scratches from walking all through the woods and getting scratched up by all the twigs and bushes and that. Jeez, so this was a guy, Daniel Francis Gear. He is the one accused of kidnapping that girl. Yeah, he looks like a friendly guy, right? He's been charged with first-degree kidnapping and assault, and, the girl was sleeping over at her best friend's home, which is located in Lillington, when she was told by Gear to come outside. Gear ended up being captured around 8:15 PM on Sunday after a 7-hour manhunt involving drones and canine officers. He's since been charged with that first-degree kidnapping and assault. Um, he's being held on a $2.5 million bond and was set to appear in Harnett County Courthouse on Monday, but apparently after he got his bond, he'll now appear September 1st in Harnett County again. So, yeah, he's been charged with that first degree. Neighbors of the man don't understand why he kidnapped a little girl. Apparently, he worked at home. He was very, he used to just keep to himself. He was very quiet, and they're still not 100% sure what or why he would want to kidnap the little girl. Yeah, I'm just trying to find out more about him. How scary for a little girl. She wasn't even at home. She was at a friend's home. Here, Gear 38 allegedly woke the child up in the middle of the night or early hours at the home in Harnett County and forced the girl into his truck. He later drove her to a remote area near Lillington. After hours of being forced to walk in the woods barefoot and being restrained, the girl broke free and ran towards the highway. Where was he taking her? Like, where exactly would he have why? It's really bizarre. It's really, really strange. Strange offending, you know? We hear about, like, weird kidnapping or stuff like that on other crimes, but why this? What was this guy's motive? To kill her? Like, I don't so there's no sex crime, thank God. But, he's just got first-degree kidnapping and an assault on a female. I don't know whether it sounds like it's a physical assault, not a sexual one, thank God. The physical one's not good either. Um She took the girl so that lady who found the girl in the woods took her to Irwin PD, where the police took her to get medical help. She also showed deputies where she was found. Gear's car was found in the area, but no sign of him until they ended up finding him several hours later. Yeah, like neighbors said, I can't quite get a grasp on like why he would have wanted to grab her. Where's Missy? Hey Missy, how are you? Oh, that's really nice. So when she went to hospital when her car was written off, she saw the little girl and her family, and they came over and thanked her. Well, there you go. Isn't that it may not bring back her car, but the thank you from the family would be worth its weight in gold. Who bonded him out? He's in jail. I don't think he got bonded out. I don't think he's bonded out. He's on a $2.5 million bond. So I don't think he is getting out. Let me double check, but I don't believe so. No, he is being held at Harnett County, and yeah, his bond is 2.5 million. So yeah, he's not getting out anytime in the near future. Missy said, I think she got away before he could do it. Thank God. Um, Probably to her death, she got away. Possibly, maybe he was marching her to kill her in the woods. So high amount. Yeah, 2.5 million. I mean, anytime you kidnap a child, you end up becoming a risk to the community. So they don't want you out there kidnapping other children before your next court day. So yeah, they put you on a very high bond. Yeah, so that's it. He'll be in court September 1. Yeah, I'll let you know about it when we get him back in court, but that's all I have right now. Yeah.
Cars were speeding on a road when they crashed into an Acura carrying the two students on Ridgecrest Road. The crash caused the car to split in half. Now to a tragic story. Two Hesperia High School students killed in a multi-car crash in Victorville. Two cars were speeding on a road when they crashed into an Acura carrying the two students on Ridgecrest Road. The crash caused the car to split in half, killing the teen girls in the driver and passenger seats. One of the drivers ran from the scene while the other stayed and cooperated with officers. A parent of one of the teens is voicing his frustrations with what he calls a dangerous road.
I don't know who I need to talk to or even where to start, but I'm going to do everything in my power to try to get this insane death trap of a road turned into a safety corridor. Other states have safety corridors. California doesn't have any.
CHP deputies say it's unknown whether alcohol or drugs were involved in the crash. A GoFundMe has been created for each of the girls to help with unexpected funeral expenses.
There we go. I don't know what happened. Don't know why we got booted off. I'm not sure. You know what's really weird? It seems to happen when we hit the 2-hour mark. Every time we hit like the 2-hour mark, it shuts down my stream. It's very odd. How long was it out for? For like 3 minutes or something? Okay. Weird. Really strange. I was just telling you about these two girls. Very strange. Um, I was telling you about these two girls that were killed, ejected from a vehicle, and had their vehicle split in half. The vehicle was split in half by two people street racing, and they were racing and didn't see the two young girls, Acura, come out of the intersection, and they T-barred it and cut the vehicle in half. One of the drivers they found, but they're still looking for a driver of a yellow Camaro. They found the driver of the Dodge Charger. They stayed at the scene and helped, but the person who drove the yellow Chevrolet Camaro did not. They ran from the scene on foot. The Camaro and the Dodge Charger were said to have been seen by witnesses speeding at a high rate of speed down Ridgecrest Road, approaching the intersection that met Elmwood Drive, where these two girls were coming out of. Um, I mean, you see their dad on that video. He looks like he is in shock, and he heard the crash from his garage, and then he knew it had to have been his daughter and her friend because they had just left the home. And so he ran down there and found their car split in half. Like, you can imagine, where's that video of the crash? Here. If it'll play. Come on.
Now to a track.
All right, here. Like, that's all that was left. That car, it doesn't even look like a car anymore. That is the car split in half, held together with what looks like a gas line on the bottom of the car. That's all that's holding it together anymore. They were in that. The two girls were in that, and they were ejected from the vehicle when it was split in. I mean, I feel very sad for the dad. The fact that he found it like that before cops got there, before emergency services got there, before anything, he was the first person on the scene to find not only the car like that, but that his daughter and the friend had been ejected from the vehicle. That person that ran in the yellow Camaro, I hope they find them. That is just a really dodgy thing to do. You know, you want to go street racing, you want to be like Fast and the Furious, and you end up causing the death of two girls because you were not watching. I mean, then you run. You run from the scene. Pretty low. Pretty low. Missy said it wasn't out long enough for us to call an Amber Alert. Okay. I am a child and I have been kidnapped. You need a license plate of the car, though. Marlene said it's not a street problem. It is a stupid people problem. A bit of both. Bit of both. I feel sorry for the dad, though. Can't imagine having to find your daughter splayed on the road like that. That must have been very difficult for him. Yeah, there we go. I wish I had more information about the girls, but I really don't. That's really all I have, except just to tell you that they were good friends, best friends. There's a photo of them. Killed because two dorks decided to race their Camaro and Dodge Charger on the highway. Very, very stupid. Consider Stretch Road. Yeah. Don't think that's going to help. He wants it to be named a safety road where I don't know what that would do, but let's have a look. California Highway Patrol identified the 3 vehicles, but they are let's have a look. Do they have photos of the Camaro? Yeah, hold on. Just trying to see if this is the video for it. Okay. No, I thought maybe this was it, but it's not. Check this out though. Look at this crash.
A Toyota took flight in South LA. Watch it again as a speeding white Corolla being pursued by LAPD.
It was a cop chase. So if you're watching the cop and went flying. So if you're watching that on Damon's channel last night, that's the end of it. Muffin stole a stream. He's sleeping behind me right now. We need a special alert for ping. Send up the fireworks. That's what you have to do. Lynn said, how awful for him to find that horrible wreck and maybe his daughter. You know, he knew that she had been ejected because he said the first thing he found was his daughter on the road. I don't even know what that would be like to, like, he would have known that she was dead too. I just think that's terrible. It's so horrible. Imagine that. You hear the crash, you run from your home thinking, oh my God, what am I going to find when I get to the bottom of the road? And then you end up finding the vehicle cut in half and then them splayed on the road somewhere. I mean, that poor guy, he has to live with that image for the rest of his life of his daughter. Like you heard, like she died instantly. There was no saving them. There was no taking them to hospital. Like they died as soon as the car was hit. You just got to hope that it was very quick. Hopefully. Do I have one more? I have one more. One more for tonight. Have one more. Funny enough, from LA again. So a while ago, there were 3 men who were killed in an apartment complex in LA. Well, now they have sort of sorted it out and found out who the suspect was, and they have arrested that suspect. I want to take you there. Yep. In what they're saying is suspect arrested in shooting deaths of 3 men at a Hollywood apartment block in LA. And it happened a few weeks ago, but now they've found the suspect. So hold on, I'm going to take you there, and I'm going to tell you what happened today. If it'll play.
3 dead, no suspect, no gun found. The gruesome mystery at a Hollywood apartment complex.
CBS LA's Lauren Posen is live at the scene with an update from detectives on how these men died. Lauren.
Well, detectives spent most of the morning and afternoon investigating this apartment complex behind us, but there are still a lot of big questions left unanswered this afternoon, including where the murder weapon is and if there's a suspect or suspects detectives are looking for. Meanwhile, neighbors tell us they thought they heard gunshots over the weekend, but didn't think anything of it. Just off the 101 freeway, this Hollywood apartment complex becoming the scene of a grim discovery. This neighbor, who asked us not to show her face, described the moment she learned what had happened.
I came outside, right, and I saw an officer there, and I was just like, what happened? He's like, there was a triple homicide. I'm like, oh my God.
LAPD says officers were called for a welfare check at the apartment on Wilcox Avenue late Tuesday night. When they arrived, they say they found 3 men dead inside. Detectives from LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division spent the morning searching for answers. One neighbor, who asked us not to show his face, says he started to notice something was off.
Well, I told police that it was strange because it was always noisy and the dog would always bark, but the last few days I didn't hear any dog barking, and I could tell something was strange.
Another neighbor told us they've had concerns about the building, but never expected this.
I just see a lot of drug addicts coming in and out, and then they enter my building a lot of the times. It seems very insecure, and it's just sketchy.
A detective tells me the 3 men died from gunshot wounds, but police have not found a weapon.
All right, that's probably enough, and I can probably tell you who they arrested now. I just wanted to give you the background on it. They've arrested 57-year-old. Wait, that's not the right photo. Good work, Ping. The guy's name is Patrick Kevin Spurlock. He's 57 years old. That is the wrong photo, Ping. Why it loaded that? I feel like we're now telling you about the wrong person. Okay. All right, we didn't get a photo of him, but they have arrested him. Sorry, the Los Angeles DA's office is running slowly. So he's 57 years old from LA, was previously convicted in 2005 of murder already, and he's committed this triple homicide a few weeks ago. He was released from prison only in 2022 and has now been charged with 3 counts of murder in connection with the triple homicide involved shooting of the 3 men at the Hollywood Apartments last month. 3 victims were shot and killed, now leaving their families to grieve and the people in the surrounding community fearing who will be next. His name is Patrick Kevin Spurlock. Date of birth, the 7th of July, 1969, is charged with 3 counts of murder, is further to alleged to have prior serious or violent felony convictions under California's 3 strikes law, personally and intentionally used a firearm in the commission of the crimes, and committed multiple murders. A mental competency hearing is scheduled for Friday, the 31st of August in Hollywood. Spurlock is being held without bail. They're saying here that the 3 men, Jeremiah DeBecker, Jack Cartegna, and Michael Bogaz, were shot and killed at gunpoint on July 24th. Spurlock shot and killed each of them at close range after an argument inside the apartment building in the 1900 block. Spurlock allegedly fled the scene and then was arrested on August 13. If convicted, Spurlock faces life in a state prison, but no mugshot. No mugshot released by the courts as of yet. But what would have caused him to go into that apartment block and end the life of 3 men? I find that Like, he's already been done for murder. 2005, he was arrested in 2003 after shooting a 43-year-old man called Dwayne Williams in an argument in Cowlitz County in Washington. Spurlock robbed the home where he shot and killed Williams, eventually tying up a homeowner and girlfriend there. He left the state for California, where he was arrested and extradited back to Washington to face charges for that one. He ended up entering a Newton plea at that hearing, agreeing to guilt but disagreeing with certain elements of the case. He ended up serving 17 years in jail for that one. Starting in 2005, he got out of jail in 2022. And what? Apparently, when he got out of jail in 2022, he ran for office in California as an independent in a bid for the House of Representatives. He gathered 2.1% of the vote in the primary defeat. That's not true, is it? If that's true, there must be a photo of him. Hold on. If he ran for office, there must be a photo of him. Must be. Hold on. How do you garner 2.1% of the vote and when you were released from jail that year? There's got to be a photo of this guy. Hold on. Is this him? I think I might have found a photo, but you would have thought if he was a representative, they would have. By the way, the guy on the screen is not him. He's a murderer from a different case. Where is it? Suspect? That's so weird that I cannot find a photo of him. I find that so totally bizarre that someone could run for office in California and there's not like a photo of him anywhere. Let's go. Let's let's have a look. He ran as an independent candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives in Washington State, 3rd Congressional District during the 2022 primary elections, receiving 819 votes, which amounted to roughly 2.1% of the total vote. What? How is that possible? There's got to be an effing photo of him. I don't know how you could run for that type of position without having like giant posters or. Yeah, I cannot find a photo of him. I find that totally and utterly bizarre. Yeah. Give me a sec. I'm going to keep having a look. Okay. Give me a sec, guys. Apparently, there is a campaign booklet from Washington in 2022 that should have everyone's photo in it. Like, it should have a campaign guide in it. Oh, it doesn't? Okay. Washington 2022 Voters Guide. All right, now I'm invested. Now I want to try find this guy. Search for candidates. Okay, what's his name? Spurlock. No name. Patrick Kevin Spurlock. All right. Okay, weird. His name like doesn't come up. Okay. That's interesting. Even in the so there's a thing for like elections called Ballotpedia for different elections around the US. Even in the official like voting thing where they show you who won and who lost, in as an independent, there's not even a photo of him. Um yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I and I'm unable. Oh yeah, here, that is him. Okay. There. Why he's wearing a mask? Hey, we did it. Why he's wearing a mask, I don't know. But this is like every time I searched it, this is the only photo that would sort of come up with his name. That is him apparently. How you run as an independent with no photo online is bizarre. Bizarre. What so yeah, there you go. That's him charged with 3 murders now, originally convicted of another murder in 2003, ended up serving until 2022, got out, ran as an independent, waited a few years, and now committed a triple homicide in an apartment in California. I am Onyx said it's something we see in elections sometimes. They don't always submit a photo for the voters guide. How weird, right? We have a lot of people in Washington that come to this channel. I wonder if you remember him at all from the 2022 elections as an independent. You guys are going to have to tell me if you remember him or not. What a strange case. What a really strange. Sad that he killed 3 people randomly in an apartment in LA. Um, Oh, geez, I thought I was tripping then for a second. I thought I was really tripping out for a second. Um, hold on. Do you remember I'm not trying to take us from a different story, but do you remember there was a woman that was found inside of a bin like a number of months ago in Seattle? I was just trying to see something. Yeah, Sarah, Marysville. Oh, okay. I was trying to see if there was an update for that very briefly, but no update for that Marysville, Washington case about the girl that was found in the bin by the side of the road. If you guys remember earlier this year, her name is Sarah Marie, years old. But no update, no criminal investigation. Um, no one's been arrested for homicide. It just tripped in my brain when we started talking about Washington and Seattle. But apparently they're still waiting for toxicology results about here. This is in the Snohomish County Medical Examiner. Still waiting for more information about what happened to her. She was 40 years old, found in that bin at the side of the road. Anyway, sorry, it just triggered my memory when we started talking about Washington. You guys remember this one? It was here at the side of the road. She was found in one of these bins. They still don't know if that is a homicide or, I mean, how else would she have got in the bin? But they're still trying to figure it out. And to this day, no one has been arrested for her death. So that woman that was found in that bin, still no update. You'd vote for him? Why would you vote for him? Don King Cold wants his hair back. It is very Don King-esque, yeah. Wasn't it her own bin? No, I don't believe it was. It was someone, I can't remember the details now, but it was from some other place and they tracked it down. I don't believe it was her bin, or was it? I can't remember. They said here a resident noticed an unfamiliar yard waste bin at an apartment complex and was unusually heavy. Upon opening the lid, he discovered her body and immediately notified authorities. They're saying here when they took her to the medical examiner's office, no obvious signs of trauma were found on the body, but they were treating the case as a potential homicide. And the official cause and manner of death are pending, awaiting final results of comprehensive toxicology results. So far, though, no new details about Sarah Marie. I remember her mum spoke out after her death, but that's all I remember. Yeah, that's all I've been able to find about it too. Very sad. I will keep on top of it, and if I ever find out anything else, I'll let you know, but we never got an update to that one ever. No update about who she was, or we know who she was, but how she got there. Yeah. Very sad. All right. Hey, it could have been OD. That's probably why they're waiting for the toxicology. I remember when her mum spoke to the media, the mum said that she had followed a boyfriend and was following him around, like wherever he moved, she moved with him, and they ended up in Sonoma County in Washington, but I don't remember what happened after that. No, yeah, I don't remember it being that apartment's bin, no. All right, hey, it is getting very late. Hold on. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, who's messaging me? Ah, we have a sneaky ninja hiding in the viewers right now. We have a ninja hiding. Hey, I want to say thank you to Kathy Lynch. Thank you, my friend, and my friend Wendy R. People like that who are able to help the channel very generously every week. You guys, it's very kind and I really appreciate it. Those donations help us go to like all those court cases, allow us to cover it all, apply for paperwork and documents and do all the forms to fill out. Like with some of the courts I have to go to, every time I want a piece of paper, like whether it's a charging document or this or that, I have to fill out a whole new form every single time, every time I want it. Some of the other ones I'm able to request via email, and that is very kind. They're very kind people who do that for me. But some of them are really complex, and I've got to spend hours digging up like case IDs and information. The people like Kathy and Amy from the other night, Sean every night, and my friend Wendy R. Wendy R. Thank you so much. All these people, Danny with the gifting and memberships and stuff like that. All the people that are so kind to support this channel, it really helps. It basically allows me to devote that time and get all that information for you guys. You guys are the benefits of it because this channel has broken massive stories over the last 12 months. Half of the evidence stuff was seen first on this channel for Aaron Patterson. We'll do the same for Samantha Murphy. You guys got the verdict for Lachlan Young 2 minutes after it was said in court. 2 minutes. And you guys got it first on this channel. So it's people like that who are very kind to be in a very fortunate position to be able to help out the channel like that. But I appreciate it. It is very, very kind. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. What are you going to do tomorrow? It's Friday night for me here. So it's TGIF here, but we get a second one tomorrow with you guys in the US. I don't know. We'll do something though. We'll have fun and we'll maybe we'll go back and we'll try and catch up on some of these old stories like the woman that was found in the bin, and we'll try and see if we've got any updates for cases that sort of have fallen by the wayside over the last couple of months. We'll go back and have a look and see if we can find new updates and try and keep on top of a couple that we haven't checked in on in a while. All right. I love you all. Good night, everyone. Bye.